Climate change: causes, effects, and solutions. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges facing humanity in the 21st century. Scientific research shows that global warming and changes in climate patterns are largely caused by human activities. Extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and loss of biodiversity are just some of the consequences that are already being felt around the world. This article will analyze the causes of and possible solutions to climate change, looking at both the scientific and socio-economic aspects of the issue. Part 1. The causes of climate change. The natural causes. Although human activities are the main driver of modern climate change, there are also natural factors that affect the climate. Solar radiation. Changes in the intensity of solar radiation affect the Earth's temperature. However, scientists agree that these fluctuations do not explain the recent increase in temperature. Volcanic activity. Large volcanic eruptions release particles into the atmosphere that can temporarily lower the temperature, preventing solar radiation from reaching Earth. Cyclical climate changes. Phenomena such as El Niño and La Niña affect temperatures and rainfall in different regions of the world. Anthropogenic causes. The vast majority of scientists agree that today's climate change is mainly due to human activities. The most important factors include burning fossil fuels, oil, natural gas, and coal to produce energy and transport, releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide, CO2. Deforestation. Forests contain CO2, but destroying them reduces this capacity and releases stored water into the atmosphere. Agricultural activities. Intensive livestock and crop production produce methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O, two powerful greenhouse gases. Industrial processes. The production of cement, metals, and other materials produces significant greenhouse gas emissions. The increase in these activities since the Industrial Revolution has caused global warming. Part 2. The impacts of climate change. Climate change affects every corner of the planet, with serious consequences for the environment, societies, and economies. They are becoming more and more apparent as temperatures rise and extreme weather events become more frequent. Extreme weather and disasters. Climate change is increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. Heat waves. In recent years, heat waves have hit many areas, causing death and crop damage. In 2023, Europe and North America recorded some of the highest temperature records on record. Flooding. Heavy rainfall causes severe flooding, such as those that have hit Germany and Pakistan in recent years. Droughts. Areas such as California and Australia experience prolonged periods of drought, affecting agricultural production and water supplies. Hurricanes and cyclones. Warm seas strengthen hurricanes, causing more damage to coastal communities. Sea level rise. Rising temperatures lead to melting ice caps and expanding oceans, causing sea levels to rise. Ice melting. Greenland and Antarctica's glaciers are melting at unprecedented rates, contributing to rising sea levels. Impact on coastal areas. Cities such as Venice, Miami, and Dhaka are at risk due to rising waters. According to scientific forecasts, if there are no measures, people who will be forced to leave their homes of sinking coastal areas. Effects on biodiversity. Climate change is disrupting ecosystems and threatening many species with extinction. Loss of natural habitats. Rainforests and coral reefs are being destroyed, driving many species to extinction. Changes in migration patterns. Birds and marine species are changing their migration routes due to rising temperatures. Species extinction. Polar bear populations are declining dramatically as ice in the Arctic Circle melts. Social and economic impacts. Climate change is not only an environmental problem, but also a huge socio-economic crisis. Food insecurity. Droughts and extreme temperatures affect agricultural production, causing food shortages and price increases. Climate refugees. According to the UN, people displaced in the coming decades by natural disasters and sea level rise. Health conditions. The spread of diseases such as malaria and dengue fever is intensifying due to the increase in temperature. Economic impact. Damaged infrastructure, reduced productivity, and increased costs of natural disaster management affect economies worldwide. Part 3. Solutions to climate change. Climate change is a global problem that requires coordinated solutions at individual, national, and international levels. Although the available ones are already evident, the strategies that can mitigate the consequences and help to adapt to the new conditions. Transition to renewable energy sources. Replacing fossil fuels with clean energy sources is the most critical step in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Solar and wind energy. Investments in solar and wind energy are increasing, with countries such as Germany and China leading the way. Hydroelectric and geothermal energy. Although described, these technologies are a more biological alternative to containment. Energy storage. Improvements in batteries and energy storage technologies are facilitating the transition to renewable sources. Sustainable transport is responsible for a large proportion of global carbon dioxide emissions. Solutions include electric vehicles. Sales of electric cars are on the rise, with many countries planning to ban petrol and diesel cars by 2035. Mass transport. Strengthening public transport reduces emissions and congestion in urban centers. Bicycles and walking. Cities are investing in infrastructure that encourages sustainable mobility. Sustainable agriculture and nutrition. Agriculture and livestock are major contributors to climate change, but there are ways to reduce their environmental footprint. Regenerative agriculture. Techniques such as crop rotation and soil conservation reduce emissions and improve environmental protection. Reducing food waste. 1/3 of the world's food ends up in the trash. Reducing waste can reduce the demand for new crops and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Plant-based diet. Eating less meat reduces the demand for intensive livestock farming, which produces large amounts of methane. Agitation and protection of biodiversity. Deforestation contributes to climate change, while restoring natural ecosystems can help reduce the effects. Reforestation programs. Countries like India and Brazil are planting trees to restore lost forests. Protected areas. The creation of national parks and nature reserves contributes to the preservation of biodiversity. Coral reef restoration. Reefs act as natural barriers against storms and are a critical part of the marine ecosystem. Circular economy and sustainable consumption. The way we produce and consume products directly affects the environment. Recycling and waste reduction. Reducing plastic waste and increasing recycling helps reduce pollution. Sustainable fashion. The fashion industry is one of the most polluting. Shifting to recyclable materials and reusing clothing can reduce these. Energy efficiency. Smart technologies and the joining of buildings can reduce energy consumption. Political and international agreements. Action on climate change requires international cooperation and political decisions. Paris Agreement. Signed by almost all countries, it aims to limit the temperature increase below 2 degrees Celsius. European Green Deal. The EU is committed to climate neutrality by 2050 by investing in sustainable technologies. State taxation. Many countries apply taxes on CO2 emissions to encourage more practices. Conclusion: climate change is one of the greatest threats humanity has ever faced. However, the solutions that exist and the technology, the political will, and the change in our consumption habits do not make a difference. The transition to a sustainable future is a concerted effort by governments, businesses, and citizens. If we act now, we can mitigate and make a sustainable planet for generations to come.